we know about 20 guys so far in that range that have been cut or no longer a part of the organization. So we can at least start to acknowledge them. And then, we'll see a couple other guys potentially that we might or may not think, have a chance to be on this thing come tomorrow about 4 o'clock, man. So y'all hit that like button one time. And don't forget to subscribe if you have not done so just yet either.
Yeah, we've been pretty busy these last couple days.
Mm-hmm.
You want me to rattle off these names?
Yeah, man. Let's start with the names that we do know. Yeah.
Tanner Morgan, Darius Higgins, John Lovett, Jamarcus Bradley. Some of these were cut weeks ago. Yeah. Some of these names. Jamarcus Bradley, Akeem Butler, Cody White, Dan Chisena, Aaron Cruikshank, LaRaven Clark, William Dunkleaser, O-lineman.
Yep.
Yeah, maybe I should give their position for some of these guys.
That actually low QB.
Like, I recognize their names because I've been looking at them so much over the last couple months.
I think they're going to know all these people, Deke.
Okay.
For the audio only people, man. All right, the audio only people.
Well, I'm not going to go back and say the others. They were all on offense. Running backs, receivers. Tanner Morgan, quarterback. Obviously, you saw him in preseason not do good. Okay, D-line, Manny Jones. Linebacker, Coin Dang. Linebacker, Tanner Muse. Big shock. Linebacker, Toby Ndukwe. Linebacker, Forrest Ryan. Cornerback, Isaiah Dunn. He was cut weeks ago. Cornerback, Lavert Hill. Safety, Jalen Elliott. Safety, Kenny Robinson. Defensive back, Madre Harper. Defensive back, Neville Clark. Kicker, BT Potter. And long snapper, Rex Sunahana. Christian Kuntz's job is safe.
Come on, Kuntz. Let's go one time for the culture, man. CV's finest.
They were putting some heat on him this offseason.
They tried to, man. They tried to.
So many workouts.
Man, he won't tripping, though, baby.
Guys we were bringing in that were
he
long
won't
snappers.
trip. He said, I know I'm like that. I got this. I got the juice. Yeah. Initial shocks, anyone?
Just Tanner Muse. I didn't think any of these other guys were going to make the team.
Okay.
What about you?
To me, I had 2 dudes. Tanner Muse, Kenny Robinson. For Tanner, more so because of what he brings special teams wise. Nick Kwiatkowski is still here, but Tanner, if I remember correctly, vested veteran, clears waivers. Or excuse me, he's not subject to waivers. So when I saw Tanner Muse, I was initially surprised by him being released, but then it had me thinking it would not shock me if he were to be brought back at some point this week.
Wink, wink.
You know how to, yeah, because of the whole, I need to keep this guy on my roster. If I cut him, he's not going to, just sit because
throw someone on IR, bring him back.
Absolutely, like that type of vibe. So when I saw Tanner, I was definitely leaning that. I'll see what it looks like at the end of the week, though. But he's one of those dudes because of the amount of years he's played, he wasn't subject to waivers. So we've seen it before. Steve Johnson, LJ Fort, prime dudes that happened here. At one point in time, my name was even flirted with the convo of, yeah, all you're doing is because you're not subject to waivers, but this young guy is, we want both of y'all on the team. You get the choice, though, if I cut you to sit and then just sign back here in 3 days. This guy doesn't. So you have them convos. So I do feel like he might be one of those dudes, just throwing that out there, because of what he did specifically on special teams this preseason, along with what he was showing on defense. And he was healthy. That was the other part. So I thought about that. Kenny Robinson, I was a little bit surprised because of him versus Trenton Thompson. I thought both played really well in the preseason, in the games, and in practice. The only difference was Trenton had his splash play in stadium, whereas Kenny's splash plays were in practice. Then I also thought body types, Trenton moves just better. He's a different body type, though. He's clearly a free safety, whereas Kenny is definitely a strong safety box dude. But at times in the preseason, just watching how they both would play, and this was also part of the thing Robert's playing, where we're like, yo, they don't do a lot of, we're going to protect you in these matches. It's really athlete on athlete. Some of the stuff for Kenny wasn't ideal for him. In regular season, he wouldn't be in those positions. It would be a Trenton in that position. But because it's preseason, some of that was out there. So for me, I'm just like splitting hairs. It's a bad draw. But unfortunately, we did see you give up. Now, he still was making tackles, which were good. But in terms of just watching how they were happening, it's like, man, I need you to make this type of play. But athletically, you might not be able to make this type of play. But in the preseason, we not protecting you. You just got to go out there and, make it happen. So he was, like I said, was the other name for me I was a little bit surprised by, but more so Tanner. Tanner is the one that I'm just like, All right, man. Let me see how this really plays out. Now, if they love Nick Kwiatkowski and he ends up potentially being one of them dudes, like for the true special teams role.
Yeah, because he could play special teams.
Yeah. Because
and he's a better linebacker than Muse.
Yeah.
No doubt about it.
I agree with you on that. Absolutely. But to me, I'm looking like who's my special teamer in that group to that extent. So, we'll see, though.
Yeah, I was surprised, too, because you were selling me hard on the Steelers' value in special teams,
Yeah.
and I got to see it with how they constructed this team the last couple years, and then them bringing in a Tanner Muse, us keeping guys like Miles Killebrew around. I'm like, yeah, I think they really like dudes that even though they don't have the best versatility for their actual positions, as long as they're like special teams aces, like they can stick around.
But
so
they got to be like legit.
Right, and Tanner Muse is one of those guys, and I thought, Miles Killebrew would make the team, Boykin, Gunner. And like Kwiatkowski does have that special teams element. I was assuming Muse was gonna be a part of all this. I had him not even in my last 5 outs. Or last 5 ends. I'm sorry. I had him in like a likely, like one of the guys in like the mid 40s that would make it. But you bring up the whole scenario where after a couple of days he might sign back here, just because he doesn't have to clear waivers. Whereas if we do cut a younger guy, they could get picked up by another team. Okay, that makes a little bit of sense. But even if we were just cutting Tanner Muse and completely letting him go,
I'm with you, bro.
I think we'd be fine still because we got a bunch of other good special teams guys, and that means we would be definitely keeping Kwiatkowski, who, again, is a better linebacker than him, has started in the league in the past, but can also play special teams.
And actually, I said it backwards in terms of years. So it might just be that they like Nick over Tanner because Nick is the one who had the 6, whereas for Tanner, he came in 2020. So so it could definitely be that too.
So I guess for me, it's like I'm shocked at the decision just because I thought the Steelers were gonna keep Tanner Muse, but I'm not mad about the decision.
Yeah,
I'm completely fine with the decision. It's like, okay,
absolutely.
we're just gonna roll with Kwiatkowski.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, we're talking about the special teams linebacker or the last linebacker in the group,
Marcus Allen, basically.
Right. So it's not moving the needle in terms of on field, and if it ever came in a situation where you needed multiple games out of that guy, you're gonna be in some issues anyways. This is not to the same extent as the Spencer Anderson and Kendrick Green convo, but it's kind of like that, where it's like, look, it's the last dude. So as long as you got one of them dudes up there, it don't matter which one you like between Nick Kwiatkowski and Tanner Muse, whichever one. Yeah, I'm good with either one. Now, if I remember correctly, Nick missed the second game, right? With the
he was out there a lot against the Falcons.
Yeah,
like late. Yeah, he was one of the last linebacker groups out there. Which had me wondering. I was like, okay,
exactly.
Kwiatkowski last on this list? Is he not gonna make it? But now I think he's definitely a lock if we let Tanner Muse, because we're not gonna keep 4 inside.
No,
linebackers.
we're definitely not. No, and we don't need to keep 2 special teams dudes either. I already got 1. If I'm keeping Tanner, I don't need Nick. If I keep Nick, I don't need Tanner. Because I already got, start down the list, Quan, Cole, Roberts, Robinson. So, yeah. I like it though, man. I like it.